First, he was talking more the hip hop thing and shit first, but now it's starting to turn political. You feel me?
Okay.
So they had Big Mike on the joint. I don't know if you've seen or heard this one, right?
I ain't heard it.
So this is the thing that everybody is getting mad at Big Mike about and shit, and saying Big Mike is put like Democrats are getting mad at him. Republicans, nobody really getting mad at him but Democrats and shit, right?
Oh.
Because he backed. Everybody know that Stacey Abrams is running in Atlanta right now, right?
Yeah, she is.
And as me and Tony been telling you, we really have a problem with her running if she don't make it this time. She shouldn't run again.
Look, if Stacey Abrams should have won the last time.
That's true. That's why she getting this chance now.
And she running it back against the same opponent, which he is the incumbent. And you know, it's hard to beat the incumbent. But for as much as the party has backed Stacey Abrams, and she has the funding, she has the support, Stacey Abrams should win this election. Hoping she wins. But if Stacey Abrams doesn't win, it is time for Georgia. It's time for Georgia Democrats to move on.
They have to move on.
And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Beto. Now, Beto was a presidential candidate, and Beto really had hype as a future president.
True. And we got the little name twisted into politics, which is smart because it gives an avenue for a black person to narrate a show that's political, right? So there's a lot of them on right now that don't have a black narrator. So this is good, even though I don't like the black person that's doing it. But
that bastard.
Yeah, but other than that, man. It's a Republican in Atlanta. She running Kemp. That she running against. Now, Kemp, first of all, this is the thing that burns me up, bro. Like, when I got a problem with misleaders, right? I got a problem with black people that get out here, and the average black person like us, that's why we do this podcast, but the average black person besides us will just eat all the bullshit from the black person, right? When that black person know goddamn well they telling some bullshit, right? They know it, but they tell that's a misleader for me, and I can't stand those motherfuckers. And Killer Mike is one of the top misleaders in America, bro.
Yeah, because I'm checking him out right now.
This is one of the motherfuckers. First of all, he backed Bernie Sanders all the way to the whole election up.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
So that told me right there he didn't give a fuck.
He's a Bernie bro.
Exactly. Now goes on Charlemagne, but I'm gonna let everybody hear the conversation for yourself, right? And then we're gonna come on the other end and figure out what he's saying there. All right. This is Charlemagne. He got a new little talk show on Comedy Central. Killer Mike on the joint. He got a few others.
Say it's not brilliant. He's winning. What does that say about the people of that?
You don't have to be brilliant to win an office in America. It's been like that the last 200 years or so. You do have to be cunning, and Herschel may be very cunning in a Charles White-like way. Charleston White. Maybe he's giving y'all the drunken style. But I say that the truest problem lies in Teslin Figueroa, and I have to give her credit for this. She's a whisperer. Yeah, push the line. You can follow her. Make sure you go to some of her conferences on how to organize on a local level. She just did 300 people in Atlanta. It was amazing. But she says that it's not about the other person. It's about what hasn't your party done. And I think the Democratic Party has not done a very good job at delivering promises, and even just holding true on historically what we thought they would. And I think they can do a better job of it.
I agree. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Let me stop right here for a minute, first of all.
And I am being a little
Shut
more
your bitch ass
genteel.
up. When he say that, what are you talking about, bro? Huh? Explain what you're talking about when you say Democrats failed on promises. What are you talking about? Then you get people clapping. That's the misleading I've been telling y'all about. You feel what I'm saying now?
Go ahead.
That's the misleading ass shit that burns my soul to the core. That's why I got this podcast right here, this political joint, so I can express this. He's one of my top misleaders, bro.
Check this out. Check this out.
Ryder Guerrero, what's good, player?
Not chilling. I'm up here listening to you. I'm gonna let y'all go first, and I'm gonna jump in there.
It's your turn.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's
your
my
turn,
turn?
dude. You,
Okay.
you done had a lot to say over the last.
It's your
month.
turn, baby.
Always. You know I got it, but still. So you just said don't make sense because he's saying he want Democrats to do better. He a misleader. How you came in
I
and
can
justify that?
explain why he's a misleader.
No. You want him to follow the Democrats blindly, like Republicans do Republicans, like you said earlier.
Okay.
It don't work like that.
Okay.
You
Let's
got
start
the
right
right. You got the right and the freedom to do what you choose to do.
there. Okay.
That's
Cool.
what we
Let's
got.
stay there.
That's what we got right here.
Let's stay there. Let's stay
stay
there.
right here.
Let's stay
Now,
there. Okay.
you said that was wrong what he said. All I heard him say was he wanted Democrats to do better. He want Democrats to take some of what the Republicans do and add it to them. Now, you think Republicans are just inherently bad just because they're Republicans. No, Republicans are inherently greedy. And to my statement earlier, it is Tony was talking like ain't no rich Democrats and Democrats are all poor. And I'm like, nah, that's the way you made it sound. I'm like, nah, they rich on that side too. And what the Republicans do with the tax breaks, they benefit from it.
Hold on. It's plenty of rich Democrats.
Okay, I understand
It's
that. But
plenty, a lot of rich Democrats.
all right, then. So that's my point. Going back to my point. That's going back to my point.
This, it wasn't about rich Democrats. It was about who looks out for the have-nots and who looks out for the poor, who looks out for those who need a boost. Because there's a lot of people in this country through no fault of their own. It's just circumstances of life. Life just hit them in a fucked up way, and they might need a little push. But you got one party that will basically say, fuck you, keep it moving. And you got, another party would say, this person might need a helping hand. Here's a hand.
Do we agree or disagree on that?
That's false, and I'm gonna tell you why it's false.
How's false?
I can't. They look out because you're gonna get them elected. They don't run on the platform the Republicans run on. So they don't do guns. They don't do the abortion shit. They the opposite of that. But they still view their side. So in order to get elected, you got to be on the other side. So whatever else that goes against that, they got to be for that. And that's what they're doing. So if you saying the black people gonna vote for me, all I got to do is throw them some welfare. Of course they're gonna do that. But at the end of the day, as I always tell Rabbit all the time, they both the same because it's all about money. And that's how they getting their money. That's how they getting elected. They won't get elected because they don't run Republican platform.
We got people dying in the streets. Which party is working to get guns off the streets?
Really? So Democrats are working to get guns off the streets?
Come on. Which party is working to get guns off the streets?
So there are no wars?
Huh?
There are no
We're
wars.
talking about wars.
No. You saying guns off the streets. You talking about guns, period.
Wars is a
How
whole
you get them
different.
off the streets without getting rid of guns, period?
Wars is a whole different animal.
No.
Wars is a whole different animal.
Stick right there.
We're talking about.
Why not?
I'm saying.
Why not? If you know that if you stop making guns, there ain't no guns on the streets.
Wait a minute.
Why not stop making guns?
No, hold on.
Wait a minute. It's not about not making guns because the Second Amendment guarantees you the right to protect your life, to protect your property. I'm not saying that you can't have. You can't have. You shouldn't have a weapon to protect your life and protect your property. No, all I'm saying is weapons that belong out on the battlefield should not be on the streets.
Then why
then we agree on that.
No,
this is where the same thing happened with we had Cap on here.
Yeah, that's right.
Where I'm figuring out where when it comes down to it, it's like a scapegoat. Like when he just said, "Why not just make guns? Not stop making guns?" Like they go to a extreme point to make that argument where it doesn't make any sense. Like
you took it to the
hold on. Even just like Cap, but for Cap tax cuts. It's like you gotta pick what do you want, what's your most priority in life, right? And to me, if you got one party that only vote for tax cuts, only vote for guns to make sure most guns are flowing through hoods as much as possible, right? That you can't deny that. The Second Amendment is their shit, right? You got And then on top of that, gay marriage. All this stuff is against it. You can't have no abortions. That's one party, right? You can't deny none of the things I just named, right? You got one party that's against all that. You can't deny none of that, right? Me personally, you can't pick out, oh, I like tax cuts, man. No, because you forgetting about all the other shit that they're going to do to people. And you worried about a fucking tax cut or whatever the fuck anybody can worry about. If you don't care about no air, what can you care about? Republican Party don't give a fuck about the air, bro. You can't deny that. So to me, that's why me and Tony got in a debate last week. When I called
Yes,
them
we
motherfuckers,
did.
I called them motherfuckers fools. Because
No, you call them idiots.
that too. 2 days to vote for somebody, they worse than a misleader, bro. They complete idiots. Because everything I just named to you,
I'm not going there again this week.
everything I just named to you will be the same every election. So for you to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, you know what? I don't know who to vote for. Like, that
Look.
means you don't care about the air. You don't care about the guns in my streets. You don't care about none of that. So I don't want to hear no tweets after that when somebody gets shot in the streets. I don't want to hear none of that. That's cuss. Making sure you keep your guns. You took that over top of air. Guns out the streets.
I'm gonna give you my
Programs in the streets for poor, elderly, the disabled. Do you disagree, real?
You know what I'm saying? And you saying the Democrats do all that or try to, because they'll never get the majority enough to do all that. Even still they did. They still ain't gonna pass. Because yeah, that's not gonna happen. But I get where you coming from. But I'm telling you that you just making a blatant statement. That's just saying like they all inherently don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But like you said, if I know that my only issue in life is whether I get to keep more of my money or not, that's what he gonna vote for.
All right, so now can we agree, real?
Now that was my point last week.
Hold on.
Yeah. So no,
hold on, real. Can we agree? Once you pick that choice of I want my tax cuts, can we agree that everything I said was going to be what the parties are going to do for the next 20 years and the last 20 years, right?
No,
Those
it
two things I
changes.
named, right? These are the parties, right or wrong?
Yeah, it's gonna change though.
All right, no. But once you stop and say, all right, I'm working on my tax cut, you already know this party over here wants your air to be clean. You know this, so you're voting against that. You already know this party over here want guns out the street. You already know that. You're voting against that for either your tax cut or whatever the fuck that you like today, right? But you already know what these parties voting for, right? So you can't wake up in 2 days before the election and be like, you know what? I don't know. Because that's bull. You're an idiot.
Coming from now.
All right.
You understand that no. You don't get the point that they care about the air. They just want it done on their terms. And that's what you get the disconnect from. I'm starting to understand where your disconnect is at.
Come on. That's not
They care about it. They want to right to build their way. No. They care about benefiting everybody. The Democrats want to benefit everybody. The Republicans want to worry about the air, but they want to do it economically. They want to get something out that deal.
No. They said it's a hoax. Remember?
No.
Say it now.
They know
It's a hoax for the Republicans. Stay with that now. Don't put words in their mouth, right?
First of all, it was one motherfucker saying that.
It's a hoax.
They're
not gonna put up a bill to do anything with the air, bro. So let that go. Don't fight.
If Republicans was concerned about the environment, then why did they roll back? Everything that was done under Obama? Why did they roll back everything that was done under Clinton? Why did they oppose the Green New Deal? Why did they just want to give all kind of tax breaks to companies that are putting pollution into the air? They oppose clean coal. They want to they for the environment, but they're not showing. You're not putting. This is my problem with Republicans. For everything that one side or somebody else say they are for, they'll come out against, but they never put up a plan of their own. They don't say if a Democrat will come out and say, well, we want to put forth this bill. They don't never say, well, we think that's too much and we got a counter bill. We think we can do this, that, and the third. They'll say, well, we don't like it. We'll vote against it, but they never put up nothing of their own. You tell me what has they put out there besides obstruction and blockade?
All right, first of all, how the Democrats write it, that's already, they don't want none of that. They want to write it themselves, and they want to put their little secret lingo in there. That's on all their bills. Anything the Democrats did before the previous one, they're going to overturn it. They're going to change it. They're going to keep some of the structures of it, but they're going to make it sound Republican. And Republicans, you know, got to get something out that deal.
Okay, but look.
That's established.
Now
I
you
get
Wait
you.
a minute.
Hold on.
Now you telling me that Republicans don't got a mind of their own. You telling me that they wait for the Democrats to put out a bill, and now they say, well, now we'll go off the idea that the Democrats had.
And change it up. You know,
But,
they always change it. They always change it up.
When did they ever come up? When did they ever come up with an idea first?
To make it Republican. Fuck with it. They had to change it, put a little Republican spin on
Cool.
it.
Whoa. I'm gonna back you up right there.
And trust me, if they could have changed the name from Obamacare to Trump care, they did that.
Where did the idea and the structure for Obamacare come from?
You got me on that one.
I'm gonna tell you where it came from. It's a Republican idea and a Republican plan. The structure and the idea and the structure of Obamacare came from what Mitt Romney did when Mitt Romney was the governor of Massachusetts.
It's a big dick contest, bro. You know, just because you got the
No,
idea,
no.
I want
Alright,
to change
so,
it to something
hold on.
Republican.
Can we agree, right? So far, I like this dialogue. I like this dude. First of all, we gotta agree now, right? What both parties stand for. Now, how long do you have? Let's say Republicans will run the Senate, the Congress for 10 years straight. We give them 10 years from now for 10 years, right? What will be their first bills and their concentration on what bills they be passing?
Oh, it's outlaw abortion.
What's their bills they're gonna concentrate on, Ray?
Tax breaks, overseas cuts. I mean, they got the whole little list.
All right, now.
It's all about money.
All right, cool. Now,
We know this stuff.
hold on. So
I'm gonna
now,
tell you in a minute.
if that's their focus, right? How many years has went past now without them focusing on the air?
They already there. They know what they do.
What?
It's like the bridge. No. So they know about the air. It just ain't hit critical.
No. You gotta do things to combat the air. What's going on with
All
the
right,
car?
so first of all, the reason why they don't want to do the air shit is because they gotta work with other countries. They don't want to work with other countries. They think they better than other countries.
That's not the point I'm getting. Just stay on America.
This is
Stay
why,
on what we voting for in America,
This
bro.
is why Trump got rid of it.
No. Stay on point. Stay on
He got
point,
rid of it
Ray.
because-
Right. Stay on point. We in America. We want to know Democrat, Republican. What's best for Black America and America in general, right?
Black America.
Just stay on those
Rich black or
topics.
poor black. Rich black or poor black.
Doesn't matter. That's for everybody. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Is we agree on that?
Yeah, we good on that. You
All right. So now
you know?
we disagree on whether guns should be in the streets or not, right? Right.
I mean, just because the gun in the street don't mean you gotta use it. But
All right. So we disagree on. Hold on. So we disagree on
crack
the
in the street
amount
don't
of
mean you
guns.
smoke it.
We disagree on the amount of guns and the way to access to them. So we disagree on how to stop that. We don't want the access to them. You don't want them to be made no more. You see what I'm saying? See
Cut it off at the source.
how you gotta go to the extreme craziness to make a point of guns. You feel me? Let's not make no more.
So what you telling me is
that's not
you telling me guns can be made in the country and there not be violence due to them guns being made from that country?
You think
You
because-
honestly telling me this? That's what you're telling me, and your man co-signing this, right?
Okay. So you tell me just because
Whoa.
You tell me just because
Hey, wait a
hold
minute.
on,
They're gonna use it.
it's used to kill a person now?
Yeah, it is.
Somebody gotta do
that's the
that,
whole
bro.
purpose of
Gotta be
the gun.
something in between.
That's the high.
the
That's
gun
the
being
whole
made.
purpose of a gun.
Let me
Not
ask you something.
defense.
Whoa.
Let me
Not
ask you
defense. It's not made for defense. It's
You
made
got
for
guns in
defense.
every
It's
country.
made
Hold
There
on.
is guns in every
Hold on.
country in this world. On
What
this
comes,
planet.
what comes
Motherfucking
in
massacre.
between though? What comes in between making a gun, buying a gun, and killing somebody? What comes in between that?
A lot of motherfucking dinero.
A person that's making a bad decision or something they just a fucking criminal. Right or wrong?
You sure? All right then. So we know
You can't. You can sit a gun on the table. It's not gonna shoot itself, bruh.
You know a motherfucking.
That doesn't make itchy sense.
Nah, that don't make no sense because you don't
know
make
that,
guns
right?
for the criminal.
Okay.
The
All right.
problem
So,
is this.
so,
The
Hold
problem
on,
is
let me
this.
bring OnlyFans Jay up
so,
in the feet.
so Mountain Dew is illegal in other countries,
This
yet
is the
they make it.
problem.
They
Bro,
make Mountain Dew in
I'm not
America.
saying I
But
don't.
then I want my shit sold.
Okay,
Hold on. Hold on. I got one
go ahead.
little thing. Ain't gonna be long. I'm in here chatting with a few people who do bad shit in their younger days. I don't get this. This is where I'm lost at.
Mhm.
Y'all know
bad
a
shit
y'all,
younger in the days.
yeah. I know. I mean, I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Y'all know the temptation is out there. If a motherfucker put money in your face, you gonna do shit to do that. That's why I'm like, so if a nigga say you can make this much money slinging something, heroin or whatever, you gonna take that chance. You telling me if a motherfucker put that in your face, hey yo, you get these guns cheap and you go resell them in the hood, you not gonna take that chance? That's
Now,
what I'm saying. To cut that off as a supply,
all right,
the only way you can stop that, the only way you can stop that.
Some people won't.
all right, cool. I like
Some
that.
people-
If I make it against the law and you go to jail for 30 years for doing that shit, would you do it?
Motherfuckers still gonna do it. Yes.
Would you? They won't, bro.
Yeah, they will.
You will not do it no more.
Motherfuckers was
You
getting
won't
25
go-
years for a
You
little
won't
ounce
be
of
a
cocaine, and they
middle-aged
still was
white
sticking
man.
their
Listen to me. You won't be a middle-aged white man gonna risk your fucking life in your career for 30 years for passing this gun to this black kid out your trunk, bro. You're not gonna do it. Lapdogger for
Look.
the NRA.
You gonna tell me
That's what's
that
happening here, bro.
if a
You
motherfucker
making
bust
him
up in your
rich.
house, if a motherfucker bust up in your house, you gonna tell me a 9mm ain't gonna take care of that? You gonna tell me you pop a hole in his ass with a 45? He ain't gonna think about. You pop a hole with a 45.
You making-
They're gonna stop him cold.
You making
Hey, that AK-47
you
is
making-
child-proof, dog. All you gotta do
you
is click the
making
trigger and
Wayne
aim.
LaPierre rich. That's all the fuck you doing. And you're a mouthpiece for him.
Come
Once
on.
you start asking for more guns in the street, bro.
Massacring kids.
Raise your kids better.
What the fuck? Them kids ain't had nothing to do with. Them kids was
See,
doing what the
Hey,
fuck they was supposed to do. Them kids was in motherfucking school doing what they were supposed to do.
Tell little boy
That's
stop
bullshit.
bullying. Tell him stop bullying that little boy over there
That's
because he got them big
bullshit.
ass clothes
That
on.
ain't got nothing
And
to
that little nigga
fucking do
won't
with
come
it.
and get his gun.
Fuck it. If somebody
Nah,
fucking
they
with it,
bullying them little
you
niggas,
like
man.
everybody else do. Call the fucking police.
Nah, you getting
Why
bullied, you
wanna
tired of
fight?
that shit. You
Whoop
gonna
a
go get your
motherfucker's ass.
AK-47, your dad hunting rifle. You gonna go in there and shoot Ricky in his eye for talking that shit.
That's
So
bullshit.
raise your kids better.
Well, listening, right?
because they can get paid.
We got like Republican and Democrat, everybody know what their core values are, is what I'm trying to make clear. And that is their platforms. That's something I always talk about, right? So now we got Killer Mike, who started off saying, I think my man asked him about the Democrats. And this is what he went into, right? So
They could do better.
I don't think it's cool. When
No,
you
I said
start
they could
off
do better.
saying, I don't think the Democrats are doing X to X right. So let's start from there.
State like Georgia, you have to meet people where they are for real. And what I mean is, I'm from Atlanta, and 15 minutes outside Atlanta is Georgia. Georgia's 35% black, 35% African American, which means the rest of the people not black, but they are poor, working, and middle class. And if you're going to appeal to those people, you can appeal to. We don't want hospitals shutting down, absolutely. We want teachers to get raised, absolutely. But the Democratic Party in the last 2 weeks, they've done vote versus bucking, and it had two incredible entertainers with Saucy Santana and Trina, but that ain't gonna get black folks out to the polls. And in fact, it feels condescending, it feels mocking, and it feels like slave cartoons.
Let me stop.
He's saying that Georgia's 35% black. What the fuck is the rest of them? 65% of other ethnicities. She only parenting the black people. She gotta talk with the white people. That's all he was saying. She's saying that she ain't doing a complete campaign. He critiquing her, and you don't like her to be critiqued. You don't like any Democrat to be critiqued.
No.
They do no
What
wrong.
he's saying is what he started.
I'm just saying. That's all he just said. If y'all sit there and really listen to what he just said, he just
What he
said
started
that
out saying was that they didn't go where the people was. Now, in a way, I agree because I always say all campaigns should start at the grassroots. You got to go where the people at.
Yeah, you have to spread the campaign around. You have to go. You can go both sides, but you got to have the type of both sides that's the majority. But the majority of Georgia, for real, is like job racist. So Stacey Abrams will probably have a hard time with that because most
Yeah.
of the state is red.
Hold up, Jay. So you saying ain't no white Democrats in Georgia? That's what you telling me, Jay?
It's some.
Okay. I just want to
But
know.
That's
Georgia,
not the
wait a
No,
point,
no,
minute,
no,
wait a
no.
bro.
minute, wait a
You
minute.
no, he didn't say
Georgia
that.
is
We
a red
always. I'm
state.
just saying
Hold on.
it's a
Wait a
red
minute.
state.
Georgia is a red state.
So there's no white Democrats in there.
That's not. Hold on.
It's
We're
some.
not saying that, but Georgia is a red state. So
I
the
understand
majority
Georgia,
of
that. So you
the,
telling
Georgia
me
the
I just
was
want.
majority
originally a red state.
majority of Georgia is Republican. Georgia is a red state.
No.
It just got lucked up to be blue this time
But,
What
around.
Killer Mike was
Yeah.
saying is
but
she didn't
that's
even pay
not-
into the white Democrats. That's what he was trying to say. If
all right.
y'all caught that.
So my point is, him as a black man, she is a black candidate, right? Democratic. His whole diatribe, you can't not tell me he supports anything she does, bro.
Why not?
You can't listen
Because
to
I'm
it.
trying to make you better.
I
Because
want
I'm giving you advice. You can't take advice.
All right.
But
all
see,
right. I'm gonna let it finish.
this is
He didn't
the
say
issue.
she had to do it. He suggested that she should do
I'm
it.
gonna let it finish. Go ahead. Now, so far,
Not to diss those.
let's start this little piece back over when he said slavery. Let's listen to this, Rail.
I'm
I'm gonna
listening.
tell you why he a misleader.
American, which means the rest of the people not black, but they are poor, working, in the middle class. And if you're going to appeal to those people, you can appeal to we don't want hospitals shutting down. Absolutely, we want teachers to get raised. Absolutely. But the Democratic Party in the last 2 weeks they've done vote versus bucking, and it had two incredible entertainers with Saucy Santana and Trina. But that ain't gonna get black folks out.
See, you see what he just did?
I want to say something.
First of all, two
When you
things.
say
They don't really push the agenda whatever, but they got people that's willing to say they back them up to say that, oh yeah, we're for you, but they sit and put a smoke screen around. Meanwhile, Killer Mike is punching Democrats in the face because he wishes for them to go harder like the red do, but they too conservative is what
Yeah. It's like
what
his
I'm getting out of him.
argument is, like I've been telling Rail since the beginning, it's like their argument is to beat up the Democrat. Like, you mean to tell me that racist on the other side has no problem with you, bro? And this person is black. You're not gonna tell me she's not going to black neighborhoods. So you sound like a fucking fool, though, bro.
All right, hold tight,
Rail?
hold tight, because this is the problem I have,
Rail, no.
and this is the problem that I spoke on. I speak on repeatedly on this podcast, and I speak about white people, poor whites, trailer park whites, if you will, and those who he promised, who he made these promises to, that voted for him and put him in office, didn't get a fucking thing, and that's on record.
Go ahead, Rail.
Yeah. Well, you said they didn't get nothing. They got what they wanted. Even though they poor white people, they still got their guns. They still got their no abortions. They still got what all the other shit. So they got what they want.
They didn't get it from Trump.
Hey, so they got what they wanted. That's what they got. And as for social aspects, they know the Democrats gonna pass something that's for supposedly ethnic people that they can benefit of, i.e., welfare. Them motherfuckers on it way more than we are. All the social programs that they pass. All the social programs they pass for us end up going to them. So the double is they getting the best of both worlds. So that's why I always say a tail rap. They probably the same because they winning no matter what. They going to be rich,
They're not winning because they still poor.
or they benefit off the social programs
They true.
because the social programs.
People get food
So what
stamps
I gotta
than
say-
black people.
Okay, hold
There are
on.
more white people on welfare than black people.
Thank you.
So
I'm correct.
this-
You are
so
correct on that.
you-
But I'm just
This is
saying,
what I
it don't
gotta
matter.
say though.
I get it.
This is I get it.
They
So
vote. They voting for their guns and their whatever the fuck, knowing that Democrats gonna have the social shit for them, the food stamps and shit that they need. They ain't
yeah,
gotta vote for Democrats to get that. That's gonna be
but
there.
here's my question to y'all: how many? And this is related to the shit. How many poor blacks in Mississippi than whites? And I'm saying that
Three
because of the
more.
Brett Favre thing. I'm saying that because the Brett Favre. Who is they stealing from? Is they stealing for the poor blacks from the poor blacks, or they stealing from the poor whites?
They stealing from in Mississippi. You got way more poor blacks than you got poor whites. So Brett Favre is stealing from poor blacks mostly in Mississippi. A piece of trash.
So why the media hasn't covered this? Because they don't care, right?
Because he's stealing from poor blacks.
Yeah,
Well,
because they don't care.
Technically, he's just stealing from poor people. You are labeling it black, Jay is labeling it white, but technically he's just really stealing from poor people, and they don't give a fuck about poor people because they got the money.
That's the point I'm saying.
Hold on, Jay.
So
No. Y'all trying to segregate it.
I got you,
At the
right?
end of the day, it's just poor people. He's stealing from poor people.
Exactly.
my point.
Whether it's black or
That's my
white, he's
point.
stealing from the poor people.
Now
Just,
you're making my point. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't care as much about the social programs that Soul Brother Tony care about or Rad B.I.D. Jones care about.
That's true.
I know.
That's
So
why
you know,
I'm calling you
it's gonna take a while
piece of
before it
shit.
reaches them.
When
So-
somebody like
so-
Trump,
so
he
the
does
people-
it.
That was my argument. That was
The
my
people that
argument
live out
last
in
week.
Mitchellville,
That was my
Bowie, and all
argument
that.
last week. That if I came up and I reached, I'm in a certain tax bracket and I reached a certain status, yes, some things that made people think that should matter to me or may have mattered to me
Yeah.
before doesn't matter.
Exactly.
If I make
You's a piece of shit now, bro.
but if I make $3 million a year and the government is taking $1 million, say the government is taking $1
Too
million,
much money they taking.
that's too much goddamn money.
But that makes you a piece of shit.
It doesn't
Right.
make you a piece of
Right.
You
shit.
let it behind you when nobody else can do this shit no more.
Same program.
Now you vote. Hold
It's
on.
still
I
there.
let you go. You
But
gonna
see-
pull a ladder up now behind you, so now nobody else can get up there. Now you gonna vote Republican and say, ha ha ha, I made it, I'm making $3 million. Now everybody else in my fucking position, fuck you. That's how I look at you as a piece of shit now, bruh. Cause you know what the situation was when you was in, you vote for these people, you know what that was for.
Bruh.
Just because you made it now, don't change the
Bruh.
situation.
Bruh.
It's people
Bruh.
in that situation
Bruh.
you was in. Saying when you talk over people, this shit mute each other.
All right, go ahead.
You cannot tell me after that you give a fuck about the air, you give a fuck about poor people, you give a fuck about anybody who's in your position, because you pulled the light up behind you, bruh, and started voting Republican because you know, and I know, you just said it, real. They don't give a fuck about nothing but money. And now all that other shit you talk about doesn't matter no more, because now you just voted for them because you making money. So what you saying is, fuck the people that was in my position. You don't get a chance like I get, and fuck anybody else because I made it. I'm Republican now. That's why you're a piece of shit.
Left the hood
You're
and
a
never
piece
look-
of shit.
and never look back.
You're a piece of shit.
Well,
You gotta agree on that.
the contrary to that.
You gotta agree that now you're a piece of shit because
Wait,
you switched parties because your shit changed. But the parties didn't change. You already know who's for poor and who's for not. Who's gonna keep the guns in the street, who's not. You already know these things.
Allegedly.
You switched.
Allegedly.
Oh well.
It's allegedly.
But you switched to help the opposition for the guns, for the abortions, for the gay marriage. You help the opposition now because you're a millionaire. You're a piece of shit.
Mocking, and it feels like slave cartoons. And that's not to diss those artists. That's to say in the way that it's presented, the way that people take it, it doesn't feel right. The other thing is, well, they said Joe Biden just announced before we walked out here that they're going to allow people with marijuana convictions to come on from the feds. Well, most of
What? I'm about to stop it. I'm about to stop your bitch ass. He going into some opposition to that. Just release all federal crimes for anybody with marijuana, bruh, in America. Not only you get the fuck out of jail, you have no charges. But he gonna sit. Everybody about to clap too. You notice that?
Let him finish.
You know, you see what I mean? Now you see what I'm talking about.
No. Let
He's
him
a
finish.
piece of shit.
I want to hear the
Everybody
rest
about
of
to
it.
clap. Everybody about to clap. Remember, Trump let 3-4 people, famous people out. Everybody sucking his dick. This nigga let
Well, hold on.
everybody with felonies, with marijuana charges out.
But
Your
play it.
charges
I want
are
to hear the
over.
rest because I want to hear the rest of what he has
Listen to
say.
this jackass.
Yeah, play the rest.
convictions or state convictions. And when I talked to, say, Stacey myself and said, Ms. Abrams, what are you going to do about legalizing marijuana? You can decriminalize just like they did in Colorado. Her fear factor was always, well, the feds are going to come. Well, you should be talking to the president saying, let's take it off the Schedule 1 list now, Nick, because I was in her campaign.
When you run one day.
I give her this advice because I've seen her under the Gold Dome. I've seen her out campaigning. I say, whatever white person you got running your black outreach, fire them.
and hire Tesla and Figaro.
Word.
Hire her today, because what she's going to do is she's going to say to you as governors, what you can be doing as governor of Georgia is saying, hey, not only are we going to decriminalize marijuana, we're going to make sure 35% of all licenses are African American. We're going to make sure we're going to give land grants, and we're going to use Fed money that's coming in here to make sure that black farmers can be growing cannabis so that it can be sold. And you would make it gratuitously obvious that you were going to right some wrongs. That's what I tell her. The problem, though, is the guy she's running against is running an effective campaign, and Brian Kemp is running an effective campaign.
Here we go.
What Mr. Kemp did was he went to an all-black boys' school that's ran by a conservative black man down in Albany, Georgia, young black man. He didn't Dr. Umar you. He didn't go around preaching for a lot of years. That's no diss to Dr. Umar. He produced the school, and then he started
Dr.
talking.
Umar got the school.
He got a school too.
He got
In
it.
fact, you know what? I'm sending you a grant. I swear to God, I love
Awesome.
Dr. Umar school with all black boys. So guess who the picture goes up with him yesterday? Yes, Governor Kemp with the boys yesterday. That picture goes up. Shelley Winters, who's an incredible black man, does a lot in Atlanta, happens to be a conservative, has a great radio show. He's a great radio show host, but he goes in the public and out in the streets every day. He got a bunch of conservatives. Kemp went with them. Then he went over to a Democratic enclave with Ryan Cameron, one of the most popular radio hosts out in Georgia, staunch Democrat, and then pressed the Democrats in that room. I would advise, if I was in Miss Kemp's camp, you need to go everywhere he just went.
Miss Abrams.
And Miss Abrams, you need to go everywhere Brian Kemp just went, because what Brian Kemp did was have an effective week with black people. And I would love to see her do that, but if she doesn't, that ain't our fault.
Woo. Tara.
Let me hear you, Earl.
Hey, that nigga should just say he a motherfucking Republican. Though.
Thank you. Thank you,
Why you always
bro.
say that?
Why didn't you notice that, bro?
I was with that nigga to that last little bit.
Thank you, bro.
I was like, this nigga.
This nigga here is really promoting